All right, peace, family, peace, peace, peace. It's Brother Rich, right back at y'all tonight. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in last night. We got another great show for y'all tonight. As we continue to let y'all know the world is changing fast, and one of the things I want to do with this platform is make sure we don't fall behind. Got two gentlemen today with me today that y'all very familiar with that are sharing some groundbreaking technology with us. And I want y'all to take this serious. And I want y'all to read up on it, study it, and learn about it and apply it with whatever y'all trying to do. All right. Get the link, share the link with your family and friends. Let them know Black Magic 363 is live. I'm gonna give y'all some time to do that. Let's get to a few ads real quick before we get started with our dynamic conversation. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Woo, Amu, my brother, what's up? We got to start that. Me and KT got to get that fast going again, so we get them push-ups going again. Woo, Amu, got to get them push-ups going again, man.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Got to get them. Yeah, I was telling. I remember Blue. I told you last year, man. I still want to implement it, but it's like I don't have time for anything but like a midnight gym. Where we could get it in on YouTube, got like a gym going on YouTube at midnight. We just get it in for like an hour or something like that.
That'll pop. You know
virtual gym.
I used to work out best like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Right.
Feel me? I'll smoke and go to Planet Fitness and
just zone out. I feel you.
Don't out, son. Yeah. Go to I'll get up feeling that much more better. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the work.
How many of y'all will work out with us, man? How many of y'all will work? If we start at midnight, a couple of days a week, gym, live on YouTube where we working out. Blue Pill's our instructor. I ain't fit enough to be the instructor yet. So we gotta let Blue Pill be the instructor. But how many of y'all would be down with that? Y'all will work out. Get down with us on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Straw Hat says they work out. Okay. All right, well, let me get to some ads real quick so we can start the show, family. Got some great businesses I want to share with you. As always, my brother King Simon, one of the best when it comes to numerology. Hit the brother up. Text him, 347-496-1022, family. Hit him up. We got the glucose support formula from Riverside Tai Chi. We all know diabetes is not our friend, and if you need help with that, contact that website on the screen and get some additional information to help you. Also, my brother Billy Carson, woke doesn't mean broke. His book is available right now, family. Make sure you go get that at Amazon bestseller, and it will help you out financially. All right, family? You know, we really got that workshop coming up. And, of course, shout out to Copper Child Mike L. with the crowns. You see me with him. You see everybody with him. Hit the brother up, 212-256-1358. And with that being said, family, we back on the live. We're going to get started. All right, so listen. Y'all can hear me, right? I'll keep it on Blue.
Coming through.
So there is, the title. In the title, I put NFT explosion. We're speaking on, and we're talking about other things, but what? Because you're getting ready to introduce something to us that the only other person I heard talk about, the first person, let me not say that because everybody's talking about it now, but the first person I heard talk about NFTs was Chicago Bitcoin Bully. Yeah, he came on my platform, and I didn't know what the hell he was talking. I just knew he was doing a workshop, and I wanted to learn about cryptocurrency, but he started talking all this NFT shit, and I'm like, what is this dude talking about? Fast forward a month or two later, every Jim Jones is on the Breakfast Club talking about NFTs. I mean, everybody talking about it. So could you, I know y'all got a book coming out, Conversation with the Cosmos, and I want you, and y'all have an interesting launch, and you're going to present it in the form of an NFT, if I'm correct. So could you explain to us while I get this picture on the screen, explain to me what an NFT is, and kind of explain to me, Blue, how you're implementing, I'll keep on how you're implementing that with this book that you're getting ready to launch to the world.
Yeah, well, NFT is the meaning of it is an acronym for non-fungible token, right? So a non-fungible token is something that's considered that can't be reduplicated or recreated. You know what I'm saying? It is a static uh, piece of creation that either can be a one-on-one or it can be a series, a collectible, part of a collectible series.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that brings it value is the level of its rarity and the ability for whoever's investing in that particular digital asset, right, to have a
Mm-hmm.
stake in ownership of something that they are invested in. So now it's changing the definition of how a person actually acquires whatever they're looking for, whether that be art, whether that be music, in this case, literature, right? You can just be a regular consumer and buy a book. You know what I'm saying? Where's the book at? Yo, I bought this book. Right? And the value that you got out of this book is the information that was presented in this book. You walked
Mm-hmm.
away, you got considerably more intelligent, right? But now you become a promoter for this book. You know what I'm saying? Now you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the book. Now you're getting other people engaged in it, right? Like right when we come on the platform. Now the way that Amazon has it structured, I can say, yo, I'm an Amazon affiliate. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go to my page and buy this book, and I'm gonna get a percentage of this book based on my affiliate program, right? Based on the link that you utilize in my affiliate situation to get a part of this book. But what if I was a partial owner of this book? What if I had stock in this book?
Mm-hmm.
What if I was an investor in the publishing company, right? And I was invested in this book, getting to the next person and getting to the next person? Or what if I own this book and you ask me to borrow it, and I'm like, yo, my past has taught me that you don't borrow books out of your collection, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell it to you or I can lease it to you and I get a percentage from that as well, right? And the fact that you paid me for that, would almost guarantee the fact that you're not going to run off with it. You know what I'm saying? Either I can hold your payment as a token, and when you bring my book back, you can get your money back, right? Or I get paid overall from the fact that I resold it to you on the secondary market, and now it's your book. But I sold it to you and I got paid, and the publisher also got a small percentage of me reselling his book in perpetuity. So in perpetuity means forever. So
Mm-hmm.
every time that that book sells on a resale market, you have the ability to get paid, right? You or whoever you have left, your proceeds and your proprietary ownership to. So, baby serious, right? When he's 15, 20, 30, 40, he will still be getting paid from a book or a project, musical project, a manifest destiny that Brother Rich put out, because Father Rich had already put that into his smart contract. He programmed his smart contract to act and do everything that he told that technology to do. And what he thought about doing is saying, I want to make sure that my child receives the proceeds from this album, and whoever buys the album and now wants to sell the album on the secondary market, because I only sold but so many pieces on the initial offering, that I made all of my initial early investors, right,
Mm-hmm.
substantially wealthy, because the value that I brought to them is going to increase in time, because I'm going to create other bona fide classical projects. This is going to be part of my catalog. The artists that I'm featuring on it are going to go ahead to be legendary artists, you know what I'm saying, that are going to break the mold. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be compared to RZA and Premier and Primo when it's all said and done, because I'm one of the best beat makers. You feel me? And I brought value to my life and everything that I've done in it by living a legendary legacy, right? And there's a level of appreciation that my fan base has, being able to engage in my offerings, and they are also making real-time donations to my offering still. And all of that I'm able to receive.
Mm-hmm.
So in this literary offering, imagine if you read a book and you was feeling chapter 1 and you like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, chapter 1 was off the hook. You know what I'm saying? I think I need to, you know what I mean, make some sort of contribution for this eureka moment that I had when I read the book and I was able to figure some things out. And all of that is still going back to the author. So you got your initial course, but then the value is still able to reciprocate because you have a forever relationship with the people that you're now doing business with, because now they're in business with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I had a concept that I always spoke about: share this one for me, like you got shares in my company, right? That's the way the network's supposed to work. If you could get paid every time to share somebody's link, would you not share it?
Mm-hmm.
Would that
Mm-hmm.
not incentivize you to be more sharing with what is free? You got a share button, you got a like button. Them shits is free,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm gonna do the YouTube. Yo, make sure that you tap and subscribe. Like this video and shit so more people can see it in my network. Why should we even be asking people at this point in time to do that? They should do that just from onboarding and coming onto the video. Let me push this thing up, right? Because I'm incentivized. I have a if I'm learning from this and if I'm receiving gain, I want other people to get this as well. Why would I be so selfish? Unless you look into Jack Bars, that's a whole other conversation. So we've created a vehicle, with this offering that we're bringing to the world called Convos with the Cosmos, of which, in so many words, is a list of receipts of all of the stuff that we called out for the last 2 years that we told the world was going to happen. And not only did it happen, right, it happened succinctly, almost to the day in so many regards. When I said that we was going to experience the corona rising and get a coronation, Chadwick Boseman checked out on August 28th during a solar storm event, right? When we talked about the King mythos and all of the things that was taking place last year, with the King mythos being so strong that I started that conversation in December of 2019 with the Corona Rising convo, when the sun told me, yo, I am coming back, right? And then you look and see Eddie Murphy the next day on Saturday Night Live, right? Initiating this whole mythos, right? So we're talking about the mythos. We're talking about things that have always been here before religion, right? That continuously resonate in our time by re-implementing themselves through the cast of real characters that have been cast and called stars in our lifetime. Yo, this person is a star. Oh, word. What do he do? Right? Other than shine, he plays out a cosmological, mythological narrative. So, shit, then Eddie Murphy comes later on with what? Coming to America 2, which involves what? The second coming, right? The coming. He's looking for his son, right? It's dealing with the king motif once again. So, again, we might just see this shit as entertainment. Oh, that's a nice synchronization. That you put that together, nice, brother Blue Pill, but I need more information. That's not convincing enough. Again, like I said, it continuously comes full circle. There's so much evidence. There's so much proof. There's so much that we can lay out, right? But I'm overzealot, but I'm not gonna oversell it. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer in the business of convincing motherfuckers that they God, right? Either you know this shit or you don't. But if you need a little bit more edging and convincing because you can't see it, this is a wonderful body of work for you to sit down with. You know what I'm saying? And really allow it to speak to your spirit. You feel me? And I feel that it's a living testament because it's a narrative that continues to write itself. So if you lived during a time where King James was writing the fucking New Testament, and he was like, look, I could get you a percentage point on this, right? What would you do?
You would invest in it.
Would you stand there idle? You know what I mean? You'd be like, damn, that sounds like a sure shot. And how much am I investing for? Oh, that's it? To be a part of history that's always going to continue to write itself? You know what I'm saying? A self-replicated self. Oh, I'm in on that. So not only is the information next level cosmos, high level observational, you know what I'm saying? But the opportunity, the investment opportunity allows you to own a piece of art, right? Allows you to invest in an appreciating asset and also be part of history, right? And there's a hardcover aspect that comes to it as well because there's a physical book involved, right? So tonight at midnight, we're offering what's called an ICO, which is an initial coin offering. We figured out how to turn the book into a coin, into a token, an NFT, right? A non-fungible token, right? The first 444 people that get involved for the pre-sale, it's only $33, but you're going to have to buy it in crypto. And the way that you do that, the crypto is called PBL, it's called Pebble. It's connected to the company that we're launching the book through, which is called Publica.com. Now at midnight, it will become available for purchase. When you go on the site, right, which is Publica.com, they will have you download their wallet. And in the wallet, you can convert your USD, which is your fiat, which is your currency, which is dollar bills, into a cryptocurrency called PBL, which is called Pebbles. And with that, you buy the book and you get the token to unlock the book, right? And the book will go live and be available May 4th, which is 44 days from tomorrow, or midnight, which is the 21st, no, the 20th, the first day of spring.
So the book is available May 4th.
Yes, it's available for pre-sale. Okay. Yeah, we had to push it back from 4/4 because it needs the marketing that it deserves. You know what I'm saying? And we need to allow the world to know that this opportunity is available. Again, for the pre-sale is $33. When it goes live on May 4th, it'll go back to $44. And then there will be other tiers available for people who really want to deep dive into the investment.
Lucid said, why not sell books straight up? For those who may think like that.
We no longer live. The key thing about the printing press, right? The printing press was the inauguration point for the Piscean era. They started the printing press in 1440. Okay, the printing press is another 44 resonator. The printing press was the most revolutionary creation at the time that it was created, right? It changed everything. We wholeheartedly believe that this technology and the way that we are empowering creatives is the new way that everything is going to be done. So we don't want to do things in the old way anymore. This is new information, inaugurating a new era, right? Because we're going to talk to you about the Grand Conjunction, about how we are in the Aquarian age. Why should we do it in a Piscean format? This is this information is not going to be able to do anything for you if you're not Aquarian.
Right.
It's not going to be able to do anything. You cannot utilize this information with an old mind. So eventually you're going to have to learn how to stop allowing cryptocurrencies to be intimidating to you. You don't know it. Granted, I didn't know it at one point either. And it was intimidating to me because I didn't know it. And I came up with a lot of excuses to sidetrack something that I didn't know because I didn't have time for it. And I might have been intimidated by that, right? I'm being transparent, family. So do not allow this to intimidate you because you have to learn it. You're going to be left with no option at some point. And you might as well onboard and learn it this way, right? Rather than be forced to learn it in another way. You can go to biggestcryptoplayever.com and learn how to set up a token and purchase cryptocurrency in the step-by-step process. The people who have done that from this platform in particular and other places on the internet that have joined us, they are ecstatically, right, thankful that they had the opportunity to get in and learn the way that they did from a community that is there for them, teaching them along the way. So this is the education that we can't sidestep. You feel me? We can no longer put this off, right? And it's like, why would we do the old way if we can allow the people who are reading the book to be involved with sharing the value, right? If we can turn readers into investors, okay? Because once we reach our initial printing or initial amount of sales that we're looking for with the first printing of the book, then we're going to do what's called an airdrop, which will be a redistribution of the quote unquote wealth to our shareholders.
Yeah. It's a fact. You
Yeah,
know,
real quick, do y'all have a link? Can y'all put a link in the chat room for the book? Blue or Alkebulan, do you have a link you could put?
Yes, it is. I'm not in the chat room. Is somebody in the chat room?
somebody in the chat can put it in.
You in the chat? You can write it.
Yeah, Alkebulan, you can write it? You got it?
No, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not. Yeah, you may have to put it in the chat. On your
Okay.
end. Yeah.
All right, just let me
I'm not in
text
the chat. I will
text it to me and or just what is it? What is it? Let me. Is it one of
app
them?
no app epp dot publica.com, right?
Uh-huh.
Backslash, or is this, the
Yeah,
forward?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Convos dash with dash the dash cosmos. And if anybody's on Instagram, I have the link in my bio on IG at Blue Pillar 44. Yeah, but we definitely want to get them over there to check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. The family.
Like I said, this
Saturday.
this this
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is an amazing book with some of the most cutting edge information. Like, the science community continuously jacks our convos. When we sharing it on IG, then they come with full blown research papers, right? Detailing to a T what we was just speaking to the world so freely about. So we have to stop that. We have to put a different level of protection and value around our intellectual property, right? Especially when I'm not being humble about it anymore. We are out here prophesizing the present and the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are co-writing this narrative that we are all conjoined in.
Mm-hmm.
And this mythos is coming to real life. And, you know, people will want us to not treat it like a business at the end of the day. There's no harm, foul, or robbery in saying, look, let me put it in a vehicle that makes the most sense right now.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, family, it may be a little uncomfortable, but we gotta learn how to acquiesce, to the times that we're in, this piece of technology that we're introducing, this book, again, like Blue mentioned, like how many times we had to convince you that you're God, right? When you dive into the book scientifically, the information will prove that. Again, we've been prophesying experiences that's been transpiring in 2020, and it's all documented, right? So, this is not only a time for you to invest in your intellectual property, but also to invest in your families, right? A vertical integration financially. So we're giving people the opportunity to, purchase, a token, and the token will give you access once the book drops to unlock the book in order to, experience it. But, again, it's just another opportunity for all of us to come together and really engage in this new higher form of technology that we're getting into. So, this book is going to be something of the ages, and it's going to appreciate as time goes on. So, again, those investors that are looking to really tap in on that level and, you know, uh, engage with it financially and intellectually, this piece right here is for that. So.
All right.
Yeah, and
So
it's like, it's easy to just, once again, not to cut you, brother, but it's easy to just sell somebody a book and be like, yo, that's it. You know what I'm saying? We good. Transaction is complete. Whatever you get out of that, good luck. You feel me? But what's to be said about, once again, the opportunity to bring the client in, right, as a partner, as somebody that can actually share in the value with you. Like, to
Right.
me, that's dope. I wish that I can just find situations to get involved with like that, investment opportunities. Was like, this is something that I want to naturally do anyway, and I get the benefit from it. That sounds like a win-win to me.
Yeah, like I said, not even financially, but the family will be able to find themselves within the mythology, right? Because when you dive into it, you'll be able to juxtapose experiences that you went through in 2020 and 2021 and be able to identify yourself in the book. So it's a firsthand experience, and it's digital. So it's an opportunity. And, we can continue to keep saying it, but the importance of it is, it's there for you to invest in not only, again, your intellectual property and also your kids and the next generation, but also to, financially. And that's just, what it is. 12 o'clock, midnight tomorrow, pre-sale starts.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm this is groundbreaking. I'm happy to help y'all introduce this to the world. And I know it may be confusing at first, some people, but like you said, Blue, eventually you're gonna have to get on board to, if you want to do commerce with other individuals. So
Bro, I
I
said
mean,
you had Dawn Dixon on here. You know who Dawn Dixon is?
yeah, they're gonna be on Sunday again on Sunday, huh, Billy? Yeah,
We're talking about Forbes material,
yeah,
right? No
yeah.
cap, no bluff. I met this young lady. Like, she is a genius. You feel me? She is a genius at what she does. But she's technological advanced in her approach, because she could have just made another vending machine, right? But she didn't. She made one that has smart technology and AI built into it. You feel me? She figured another way out. You know what I mean? To really, like, take things to another level. You know what I'm saying? She owes it to her own genius to say, why would I do the regular thing? I'm gonna innovate, and I'm gonna push the culture forward by being somebody who's able to figure things out. Like, I'm taking this over here and I'm taking this over here and I'm merging it, and now we got the best thing, you know what I'm saying, to offer.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
like, yo,
this is an open system economically we're dealing with now. We're dealing with centralized money, right? The fiat currency is a debt interest bearing note, but we're dealing with the idea of money representing a receipt that stands for goods and services, that represent goods and services. So, this is an opportunity. We always talking about wealth within our community. This is an opportunity to circulate that wealth within our community. And this book is the introduction to that opportunity. So, this is groundbreaking. This is history being made. So those, who are willing to invest, they're partaking in a piece of history, that will go down, for ages. So, it is what it is.
Dope, man, dope. Let's talk about what's inside the book for a second. Um, have you ever read the book Conversation with God? Is it similar to that? That book, Conversation with Donald Wall's Conversation with God, or is it you taking a different approach? Y'all ever read that book?
No, but the book covers everything that you need to know. To me, it's almost a compilation of every book that we've all read, to be quite honest with you. But it's advanced, and it's dealing with the higher level of technology. Again, the idea of us being gods, we are duplicated in what they call the ionosphere, what our ancestors called the Ba. We all have an electromagnetic emission, and we're duplicated in the heavens. So these stories that are playing out in this book reference different star systems. It reference different planetary alignments, but also they correspond to with your real life experiences. So this book will put you face to face with God, no doubt. It's again just a more in-depth spiritual perspective on things, but also it has a scientific aspect to it, so our family can understand the language when it comes to science, because that's what our ancestors were into. They were into science. They were scientists. They were engineers. They dealt with thermodynamics. They dealt with aerodynamics, hydraulics. Computer, engineer, all type of different things. So this book incorporates all of that. So it not only deals with the mythology, but it deals with the scientific aspect. And again, it also breaks down the events that took place in 2020, not only from a mythological standpoint, but also from a scientific standpoint, right? So we give the family two sides to the equation. And again, it gives them the ability to be tangible with the information. But yeah, that book is it's a compilation of everything that we read, up until this date. So
Indeed. One thing you talk about, you deal with Alkebulan and Blue, is as far as when we talk about the cosmos, you reference the cosmos being you compare the cosmos to our microbiology. And in one of your recent posts, you talked about Phosphorus and you talked about Horus. We all hear about Horus, and there's a lot of people that's conscious that's worshiping an external, who thinks an external deity named Horus exists. And we don't understand how the Bible and a lot of spiritual books deal with human physiology. So tell the people about the cosmos and its relation to our microbiology for those who may be a little confused about that.
well, first we got to understand too that we're just an amalgamation of subatomic particles, right? We're an amalgamation of viruses, that are been here for millions of years. So they all have a conscious, and they're all playing out a script as well, right? So when we take hold of our biology and control, then not only do we exist within the medium of the cosmos in the quantum realm, but we have control of it, right? Within every, atom that exists on us and within us as us, right, exist black holes. That's the science behind strong force theory, but they don't tell you again that our ancestors understood the common denominator between, melanin and black holes were the electron by way of a central, pedal trajectory towards center or towards the quantum dimension. So that relationship between us and the cosmos is symbiotic in reference to the fact that, there's a specific geometry that takes place, within the cosmos and our biology. So when we're talking about microbiology in ancient Kemet, when they would write on the walls, they were talking about events that was taking place on a biological level, right? So they would do their best to duplicate that within the physical reality so that we can have a reference point, so that when we laid our eyes on those hieroglyphs, right, it would stimulate the information within the DNA, the genetic memory, and thus bring it to the surface or the conscious mind. So their idea was to duplicate not only what was happening on to you biologically in a physical reality, but what also was happening within the cosmos. We all understand that we have a celestial origin, right? So again, there's a connection between that, and it's all reference to understanding how electromagnetic radiation works. Again, that deals with the conjugate geometry of the universe. I speak on that a lot, and that's force and motion and inertia and acceleration. So there's a specific geometry that takes place in reference to our connection with the cosmos and microbiology. And then that's again stems from a central fugal trajectory towards center, which is the quantum reality. So when they're talking about, Osiris or Horus, or they're talking about Isis, they're talking about biology. They're talking about binary fusion with the DNA. They're talking about transcription. They're talking about RNA. So, you know, you hear a lot of conversation today in reference to even, you know, the coronavirus. The coronavirus is dealing with viruses. We are, you know, an amalgamation of viruses. So in order to attack us on a physical level, they got to introduce the information first to a genetic standpoint, because they understand that the story itself, the mythology, is playing on a biological level. That's where it stems from, but then it expresses itself here in the physical reality second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and it's and this is what I do as well, you know, with my kids, like, and I encourage parents to do the same. You know, if you're teaching your kids biology, personify the characters, personify the events that are taking place biological. You know, so if I'm teaching my daughter about, you know, the electron transport chain in the mitochondria, I would actually deify and give them names, give them characters, give them specific scripts within the story, and actually draw out a whole event that takes place so that they can identify, relative to them drawing out actual characters on paper, what the mitochondria does. You know, what RNA is, what the DNA is, what the aromatic amino acid is, what, you know, the benzene rings are. You know, so then when they reference,
I'll keep it on. You given, I'm sorry to cut you off. You given, you know, the electrons in the mitochondrium, you giving them names. Don't they actually, the cells in our body, don't they have personalities of their own? Like, you give them names, but aren't they really like unique personalities? So doesn't that make perfect sense to do that?
Absolutely. Right. So, you know, that's why you would attribute a cell to an actual character. And again, this is what they did in Kemet. They attribute the cell to an actual character so that it'll easily be understood and internalized better by the person who was studying microbiology. So they will play out these roles in reference to different stories in the physical reality or in storybook form, but they were actually talking about biology. So then once you went back into the biology, you would have a reference point to what was actually taking place on a cellular level, because you've already seen it being done and personified by actual characters. Right?
Do you think you're a cell in a giant God body? Like, when we look at the cosmos, do you look at yourself as a cell in a giant God body?
Absolutely. And this is why it's so critical to have a healthy body, right? Because it'll give you a greater connection to the source, just as much as, you know, when your physical body, you know, in this physical reality is healthy on a quantum level, your cells will react to you a little differently, as opposed to being, you know, in a sick body. So, you can see, you know, whether on a macro or a micro level, you know, it all self-references, you know, itself. It's all fractality, it's self-similarity. You know, so once we can tie ourselves within the geometry of the universe, everything will acquiesce on one accord, and thus we'll be able to attune ourselves to a higher mind, a universal mind, and thus the cells within our body will also do the same thing. So we'll have a direct, two-way communication between the quantum realm and the cosmic realm.
I want to show you this, and let me know what you think. I thought this was quite interesting. I thought about you and Blue in your book when I seen it. This is on Instagram. Now, this may look like the cosmos to a lot of people, but it's actually a picture of the inside of, you know, the cellular of a cell. Right. So let me just read this real quick, and maybe y'all could go into this. Like, this is fascinating, y'all. Y'all see this? So it says, created for cell signaling technology, inspired by the stunning art of David Goodsell, this 3D rendering of a eukaryotic cell is modeled using X-ray, nuclear magnetic resonance, and cryo-electron microscopy data sets for all its molecular actors. It's an attempt to recapitulate the myriad pathways involved in signal transduction, protein synthesis, endocytosis, vascular transport, cell adhesion, apoptosis, and other processes. Damn, I need KT to pronounce some of this shit for me, man. Although dilute in its concentration relative to a real cell, this rendering is also an attempt to visualize the great complexity and beauty of the cell's molecular choreography Interactive versions of parts of this landscapes can be explored at blah blah blah. Another website. But yeah, what you think about this? Alkebulan Blue. What's
I mean,
talk to me.
so when you're saying those names, that's what I'm talking about. This is why it's important for people to understand our biology, but also to put it in a way where we can understand it by personifying it with names that we can identify with, right? See, scientists that way, when they explain it that way, it throws us off because we're not used to the words. You know, it's like a completely different language. But if we were to actually create a story out of what we just heard and actually duplicate that in reference to say like a comic book maybe or you know even a film, you know, it'll give us a better reference to what we're looking at. You know, a lot of these movies.
You know,
Go ahead,
right.
go ahead, go ahead.
I always say micro macro, micro macro,
Right.
micro macro. I've been talking about that forever and a day because what if we understand our relationship, our symbiotic relationship at a cellular level, right, to our cosmic origins and our cosmic selves, then you know we can put one and two together, right? If we look at our cellular display, you know, and then look in the cosmos and see the similarities, then we'll start getting it. You know what I mean? It's just fractal. You feel
Right.
me? We're just here on a more basic elementary level. You know what I mean? And the cosmos is just something that's larger and more expansive. Like if you was to go in the belly of a whale, you know what I'm saying? As
Mm.
opposed to cutting open a smaller fish. You know, it's
It's
we're still being onboarded to the process. You know,
well,
somebody made a genius observation by saying, it looks like Osmosis Jones.
Mm-hmm.
mm. Well, see, it's you know, it's the mechanics. You got to understand the mechanics of it because the mechanics deal with mathematics. So when you're dealing with the phi ratio, you're dealing with fractality. You're dealing with self-similarity. So when you look at fractality, you're dealing scientifically with infinite compression, infinitely towards center, towards the quantum reality. And that's a trajectory that is taken among the macro to the micro. It's infinite compression relative to fractality. And again, the mechanics of that is the phi ratio. So when you follow that ratio will take you from the quantum to to the macro to the
Right.
micro and back, right?
Because
And
right.
that geometry is a spiral. So when we're dealing with a spiral, we're dealing with central pedal a trajectory. We're dealing with a central pedal trajectory, and that's the same way we, you know, facilitate ourselves into this physical reality when we come from on high. When we come from the cosmos, we come by way of a central pedal geometry trajectory. Uh, so you know, it's
Yeah,
about time.
and if we listen to the language and the concepts again, they give us the ability to understand micro, macro, and everything in between because they're saying, look, this is a highway. Well, if you step back and you look at it, it literally looks like how a highway looks in a
Mm.
major metropolis,
Mm.
right? So how did the highways get templated to get built, right? That was the
Mm.
emanation and the manifestation of somebody who was expressing themselves on a cellular level to
Mm-hmm.
say, I know how to move cells around a larger unit, which is a body, which is a city. You feel me? Which
Mm-hmm.
has arteries in it, right? They call those streets and what have you. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing if you're looking from above, but then you're gonna go to another level, and then you're gonna go to another level, and you're gonna go higher and higher, and it all replicates itself. You know what I mean? That's the beauty. Again, if you learn something at a micro level, then you understand it at a macro level. And that's what this information in this book is about. The fact that these biological processes have been, you know, told to you in mythology because you can understand that better again than having KT explain it to you.
Right, right. I mean, you can
Yo,
you
yo.
can yeah, you can open the computer and look at the computer board and see how it duplicates as like a little city, right?
Right, right, right.
With street lights and buildings, etc. But see, once they introduce the power lines, that's what cut us off from the cosmos, the electric power lines, because
Mm.
they wouldn't explain to you when the Freemasons were building certain cities, they would duplicate and they would build the cities in reference to certain longitudinal lines that would align with specific star systems that would pull energy in naturally. But once they introduced the power lines, that's what completely cut us off from the cosmos on an electrical basis. See, because they understood that there's electricity in the air relative to the ethers. So when we're talking about the ethers, we're talking about an environment or a medium that we exist in that's electrically conductive, right? So like Blue said, it's all about self-referencing. You know, the universe is self-referencing. So when you look at a spiral rotates in and out itself. It's self-referencing. So when you look at the cellular body, when you look at the physical reality, when you look at the cosmos, it all has a common denominator among the two. And that's because the universe is always trying to extend itself, but also reference itself back to itself so it can always know itself. And this is what we serve. We serve as the conduits, the sensitive instruments to ground cosmic information, you know, that's coming from, you know, different star systems through our local sun, right? Through our local sun, and receiving the information biologically, thus grounding that information to the actual planet. Thus, once we continue to take on information, the actual planet itself becomes conscious, thus reaching into a higher bandwidth, you know, exchanging with different star systems. This then introduces the idea and the understanding of seeing, you know, different spiritual phenomena and, you know, different extraterrestrials, etc. It's because the people on the planet are evolving. And we, because we consist of melanin, which is a semiconductor, we ground that light that is coming through the sun by way of different star systems in order to evolve ourselves, but not only to evolve ourselves, but to evolve the planet as a whole, right? So that's the idea.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Don't this picture on the screen, family, this look just like Blue Pill's dashiki. Maybe that's where the inspiration came from with the whole dashiki. Bro, you talk about micro macro.
Yeah.
This shit look just like your shirt, bro. Come on, family. This shit look just like Blue Pill's shirt. Now come on. This is the connections we gotta make. This is confirmation from the universe. This is confirmation that what we saying is real and exact. It sure look just like the inside of a cell.
Yeah, we ain't playing that.
Come on, we ain't playing that. Yeah, they know I was gonna show this. They ain't know. Yo, so let me ask y'all this. So Bobby Hemmett used to say, when our ancestors die, pass away, make the transition, our mother or whatever, they go to live inside you. They go inside your heart or whatever. You put up a post on Instagram, Alkebulan, white dude named Bill Donahue, deep dude, real deep dude. I think that's the name, Bill Donahue. He said that we are photons and we exist in the back of our head. We in this little room in the back of our head watching everything happen on this big screen, on like on a big screen, whatever. And that nothing's really happening outside of us. We on the inside just watching it happen like we watching a movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what those two gentlemen say, because it seems like, all right, so what? My pops is somewhere. If we looking at the screen, who my pops is? This little red thing right here, or this little yellow thing, or this purple thing? Who this my cousin? Like talk to me about, make that make sense for the people when they hear y'all talk like that.
Well, see, you know, we got to understand, first of all, that we've agreed to come and experience this physical reality as light. As I mentioned in the last video that we did, you know, it was said in the pyramid text that our ancestors come by way of solar flares relative to charged particles or photon, right? Mm-hmm. So once we agreed to encapsulate in this physical reality, we also agreed to take on a physical body. We not only that, but we also agreed to, you know, only process a certain level of light. So, you know, when they're talking about, you know, being a photon and sitting back and observing, you know, what is going on, as what we call the physical reality, you know, it's us existing as our original nature, but experiencing ourselves from a third dimensional perspective. So we're choosing to only process 10% of the light, but on the grand scale of things, the grand scheme of things, we exist as the full spectrum simultaneously, right? Mm-hmm. So this is why it's important to, you know, internalize, you know, who we are as original people or cosmic people, because this, you know, takes off the blinders. You know, this unlimits the ability for us to be able to process a full spectrum of who we are as a people. So they demonstrated that in the movie Arrival. You know, I don't know if people have seen that movie. It dealt with the oval shaped UFO that visited. It's a fairly new movie. It came out back, I think, in
Yeah.
2015. But
Arrival, right? Yeah.
Arrival, they demonstrated that. So when they went up into the back of the head, and actually, KT has a solid breakdown on that. But when they went into the UFO, they had a long horizontal screen, and that was in reference to the screen that is in the back of our head that we are actually observing what we're calling our physical experience right now as a photon, right? It's no different than, the projector, at the movie theater, right? We exist as,
Yeah.
a projector of light,
Your mic's
but
going in and out a little bit on my end. I don't know if that's the same as everybody else.
it is. Don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's no different than at the movie theater. When you're at the movies, you're sitting watching a long horizontal screen, right? We exist as the projector, but the motion of the picture actually comes from light that is moving across the screen at the speed of light, right? So that's giving the illusion of motion, but if you were to freeze the frame, it's just a set of still frames that are moving across the screen, giving the illusion of the movie, right? So it's the same concept. We exist as our original selves, but we encapsulate it into a physical body, demonstrating ourselves, which cut us off from higher senses, because again, we agreed to experience only 10% of light that is all around us, and we're encapsulating. So, what Bill Donahue had mentioned in the video, stands to reason. That's high science right there.
But
That's true.
yeah, Brother Rich, remember when we did the Kundalini workshop right here? And I was explaining to people to center yourself in the control center, right? In the center of your head. And then you see yourself at the midway of the cross, at the back of the head and at the center of the head. You put yourself in between and you are in control center like Meet Dave, right? Okay. And now you are able to navigate your entire reality, and you become the landlord of the most coveted real estate in this universe, which is inside of your mind.
Is that when you was talking about Nebuchadnezzar? Is that what when you was talking about?
Absolutely.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
So it's the same thing that I was speaking about. Your reality is projected off of the back of your the back of your head. I think that they call it the reticular activating system. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that are responsible, right? Because remember, we are observing reality upside down. There's 50 million bits of information to filter to our brain, of which we only use 50,000 bits to coalesce agreed upon reality. This is a simulation.
It's a simulation,
right?
It's a simulation.
Everything looks without us reorganizing it. It looks chaotic, right?
Right.
This is not what reality looks like in essence. Almost like when you see Morpheus and he showed Neo what the Matrix looked like for real. That's what reality looks like. This is an agreed upon construct that we are all participating in to say, yo, this is real. This is life. No, it's not. And you are slightly a few seconds off, right? Because no timing is on time, because it bounces off the back of your projection and you refract it into your reality, and that's what you participate in. It's slightly a microseconds off. So we're not even living, in line with real time is. We are a relay. We're living in a relay loop of what we conceive reality to be based on our agreements, right? And this is just science. This Googleable, if the people want to deep dive and find out when it's called the what is it, the project, the blue, not blue beam, but they started researching the brain, right? It's not the genome project. It was blue brain. It was something that they started doing when they started breaking down and researching the brain. And they'll tell you, we don't know 90% of what the brain does and how it functions. So these people is telling you that they're going to Mars, but they haven't figured the brain out. They haven't figured the central nervous system out. They don't even know everything about the eyes, right? They really do not know damn near anything. But we give them all the credit in the world. They're figuring this shit out as they go along.
Right.
And they're able to project this level of confidence that they got it all figured out, but they don't. They don't.
Right. This is why it's important, you know, like we said, to understand the biology, because these individuals are naming certain things. It's an agreeable testament to certain things. Even with the physical reality, we don't truly know what we're looking at when we're still looking at the trees, or we're looking at the grass, we're looking at the sky, because the English language has completely taken away the actual translation, right? Our ancestors understood sound. Sound resonates. It gives off a specific frequency that can be internalized. So the naming of something is in reference to the vibration of something. So when you can resonate with the acoustics of a thing, you actually get the internalized download of what that thing is. So when we go outside and we call that thing what we call a tree, that completely disconnects us naturally to what that thing actually is. Thus, we can experience and have a higher appreciation for what it actually is, and utilize it from a spiritual perspective, right? So, you know, we're here to, you know, spiritualize matter. But again, if we don't understand what we're looking at, then we can't utilize the tools that are in the physical reality to put us at a higher state of consciousness, right? So, you know, it's, you know, like we said, it's science, you know, and it's scientifically documented as well. So
Indeed. Once again, give them that website that they could get this book. Give them the website again, once again, so I could put it in the.
I dropped it in here in the chat. I'm gonna drop it again. I do want to inform you though that the website is not gonna go live until midnight. You know what I'm saying? But we want you to be the first ones in the building. It's pulling up for me over here. Somebody said that it wasn't pulling up for them. And when I look on the site, it says book ICO opens on Saturday, 20th of March, 2021, 12 a.m. You got 20 minutes and 48 seconds left. But it is app.publica.com/convos-with-the-cosmos. And to help people better, I'll have a convoswithcosmos.com website set up in a few days so they can go straight there and hit a link and go to this ICO page. So it will be a whole lot easier. So give me about a day or two. Convoswithcosmos.com will be available, and you'll be able to hit a link and go straight to the ICO.
Indeed. What do you think about I seen you post something also. I'm always looking at y'all, you know, I don't post a lot on Instagram, but I go on there just to look at y'all posts, and you always post deep stuff on there. You were saying how you put up an article saying how lightning started Earth. I mean, was how life started here on Earth. It was due to millions of years of lightning. Talk to me about that. What's that about?
well, you know, if we look at phosphorus in the body, you know, phosphorus deals with adenosine triphosphate. Phosphorus is the light or the intelligence that the cells use in order to communicate. You know, so when we're dealing with mitochondria, we're dealing with the powerhouse of the cell. The mitochondria within the matrix of it has, you know, what you call an electron transport chain. The electron transport chain cycles electrons through it. That's what gives you the energy, but it produces water. But not only produces water, it produces a magnetic field. What comes out of that is, you know, adenosine triphosphate. Now, adenosine triphosphate has 3 phosphates. So when one of them is released, it's oxidized inside the plasma in the body, and thus releases the light or the intelligence that the cells use in order to communicate and do what they do. You know, so without phosphorus, there will be no level of animation, right? There will be no level of intel. So as I juxtaposed it with Kemet, you know, in the story, the mythology of Horus, you're dealing with the light bearer, right? Individual who's on the outer expression. You know, again, Osiris is dealing with the subconscious. You can look at it like that. Horus is dealing with the conscious mind. It's dealing with the person that you interact with on a daily basis. It gives you your animation. It gives you your spiritual electromagnetic emission, right? So, you know, when you're dealing with phosphorus, you're dealing with the light bearer, you're dealing with
That's Lucifer.
yeah, exactly. It's henceforth, you know, in the Garden of Eden, right? Lucifer was the one who redeemed Adam and inevitably made him conscious of who he was. Thus, he fell, you know, and that is what generated what we call, you know, today duality. But you know, it created a macro and micro relationship between the quantum and the cosmic canopy. You know, so this is why in Kemet again, you know, light was deified as, you know, a snake or a serpent. You know, we're dealing with electromagnetic radiation. So again, like in the body, the mitochondria is the powerhouse. So when you have ATP being produced, you know, that ATP is a level of phosphorus. That phosphorus is oxidized in the plasma in the body, and thus, you know, once it's oxidized, once it's oxidized in the plasma, it generates light, or the intelligence what the cells use for the body. So as I reference back to, again, like I was telling you, they would take stories, or they would take the biology and they would duplicate it and give it stories, and give it names and personify horrors to represent phosphorus, you know, or they would deify, you know, certain characters to, again, to represent certain biological systems. So it's the same principle.
So
If
look,
we're
real quick,
yeah,
before you jump into that, this book right here, right, from Marsha McCullahan, right? It's a book called The Global Village. Okay, this was the first book to introduce a lot of these concepts that the Europeans was running with. But over in the 60s, they was telling them that the internet was coming in this book, right? And they call it the electrified age. You know what I'm saying? When you look at these concepts, when you look at the nervous system, and it looks like what? An electrical strike, right? Because we're talking micro macro again, right? In comparison to what we see in the image of lightning, right? And then you look at the electrified body in terms of the nervous system that is electrified, it looks like a lightning strike. You know what I'm saying? So there's a connection and a correlation. And when you look at this realm that we're in now, in terms of this internet age, what they call the electrified age, you know, and when you look at how those networks, right, matriculate across global networks and nodes or what have you, it also looks like striking lightning. You know what I mean? So we're speaking about being in a time and a realm where all of these concepts are tangible because they've manifested into these different things that we're engaging in. You know, the second biggest Bitcoin is called Ether. It's called Ethereum. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down the list, of which I could probably do something for y'all right now, you know, there's so many coins that have metaphysical components and backdrops, or if not necessarily metaphysical, you know, just conscious, the things that we speak about and entertain all day, but we caught up in the history of it. We're saying, yo, get caught up in the modern day manifestation of how this thing is playing out presently, right? Get engaged, get involved. Like the future is now. Litecoin, Stellar Lumens, Daycoin, right? Algorand, right? They got something called a basic attention token, the Batcoin. Cardano is popping right now, right? Cosmos, Decentraland, Ethereum Classic. You feel me? Polygon, Synthetics, the Graph. You feel me? XRP, which is Ripple.
Yeah.
And there's so many, there's 6,000 of them. Yo, real talk. Let's keep it all the way 1,000 because we've been speaking on this. And the manifestation happened the other day. There was a altcoin called Alice that went from 1 cent to $60 in a few minutes. In a minute, they said. So literally, it took a 60,000% increase in a minute. Do you know how many people became instant millionaires that was invested in that? It went from a penny to $60 in 1 minute.
What did it say? 60,000%?
60,000% increase. Where do they do that at? Right?
At 30
So
seconds.
we talking about freakish finance.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about next level quantum. You feel me? The opportunities that this affords you to be autonomous and independent of this system that is crashing on his face. Your president is
He can't walk up the steps. He can't walk up the steps.
your president is immobile. You feel me? Y'all was getting shot last summer. Now you're getting shot in the arm and you lining up to get shot. How could you not make the connection and the separation from the same system? The universe is going to continue to be so polite with this shit for so long. Like, before it has to make executive decisions. I mean, what are you going to do with these people?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
So we want to build the new world and the opportunity to onboard people who see, you know what I'm saying? This thing is going to hell in the handbasket fast. You might as well position yourself to benefit from the crash and build up a new reality in the interim. Yo, why I went to a real estate seminar on Sunday with DJ Envy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was talking about how to get wild real estate for no money down, right? Homie right here, the Flip King, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was introducing all of the hustler aesthetics about how you can flip bricks in the real estate space.
Mm-hmm.
And financing and all of this stuff. And it's great because it's a buyer's market. There is more demand than there is supply. So anybody who is technically in a real estate game should be all the way up right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason that you should be failing in real estate right now, okay? But then I got an alert and a notice from unstoppabledomains.com. Same situation the crypto was on here telling y'all about, right? In the breakdown. Remember when he's like, yo, Rich, you own your name?
Mm-hmm.
And he took you and showed you how to buy it?
Yeah.
They sent me an email yesterday. They was having an auction, right, for domains. So the auctions that they had, bro, let me see if I could get a few of them pulled up right here. They had the wild auctions for retail spots, digitally retail spots. So refinance.crypto sold for $100,000. This is USD. Mortgage.crypto, 100,000. Houses.crypto, 100,000. Condos.crypto, 100,000. Right? Build.crypto, 25K. Rentals.crypto, 25K. Now, we should architect.crypto. That was only $10,000. As a community, we should have went in as an investment fund and grabbed some of these domains because that's $1 million investment.
Mm-hmm.
So you had an opportunity to 10x your investment by being smart, calculated, and prepared and ready to make these investments. Now, I have been buying up mad domains. I did not grab any of these. I didn't have the opportunity to jump on board, you know what I'm saying, at that particular time to make these investments. And by the time I got online, the majority of them was already snatched up. But what is somewhere like mortgage.crypto for 100K, right? Anything that has a .crypto on it, you have the ability to make payments directly to that address in crypto. So somebody can be selling houses.crypto went for 100K. That's only one crib that you're gonna sell on houses.crypto, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Meaning that if I bought the domain houses.crypto for 100K, I can sell a house on houses.crypto for 100K and I make my money back. Now I'm going to sell 1 million more homes on houses.crypto from now until forever because you own this domain forever. So you can pass it down to your babies forever and a day. That's literally like $1 billion investment that you just grabbed because now everyone that has houses to sell and it wants to sell it in crypto because that's going to be the wave. This time next year when we speaking, right? Just fast forward this conversation to next year. You could already buy your Tesla with crypto, What makes you think? And Chicago crypto showed you could already buy real estate with crypto. So why you think that people that have major pieces of real estate are not gonna come to you to sell it on crypto when the major people that's gonna have major bread are gonna be crypto investors anyway, right? So if you're selling a crypto, if you're selling a property to somebody who's crypto rich, they're gonna want to pay you in crypto. I can pay. So if I own houses.crypto or mortgage.crypto or rentals.crypto, you're paying me for listings. Or I'm getting a percentage from your sale. This is the smartest investment available out right now. But you know what I'm saying? It's just going to take a little bit more time and education for our people really become sharks and be looking, in the water for all available opportunity. And anybody that's willing to bypass this opportunity that we are affording them with this book offering, then you're not able to see the value in a small investment, right? Again, and investing a penny and it turning into $1, and that dollar eventually turning into $100, right? In time, because time is the only thing that you have on your side, right? And then you don't have it on your side. But what we're saying is that even if your time and your clock runs out and your time expires, you pass it on. Them children that you gave birth to still gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so selfish. You feel me? Put some seeds in the soil. This is a wonderful time to talk about it because tomorrow I'm going to be teaching people farming techniques. You know what I'm saying? How to put their seeds in the soil, how to create good soil so you can have all of these freakish plants coming up, right? We put a seed in the soil last spring and grew into an okra tree. A tree. Yeah. So it's the same thing with the investment opportunities. Even if you don't do it here, do it somewhere, right? Put a seed, sow a seed in soil that can eventually grow into a money tree, and not for you, for your babies eventually. That's the smart thing to do, right? And it's seamless. Like, is a penny gonna hurt you, family? If a penny gonna hurt you, you can't take a penny from your STEMI. We having the wrong conversation.
Penny from the STEMI.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, I mean, shit. Like you said, Blue. Commerce done went quantum. Commerce done went quantum, man.
It's quantum, right? Like everything else that we're gonna talk to you about scientifically and metaphysically, and we're gonna show and prove that everything else went quantum, right? 2020 was the quantum year. Shout out to Ross Ben. It wasn't the year of either or, it was the year of both. So yeah, you got fiat at the same time that you got crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You got a penny at the same time that you got an altcoin that's worth $1 million right in your pocket, and you ain't even know it. Yeah. Right? Mm. And remember, there's crypto for fractions of pennies. Right? That if the crypto gets to a penny, you get rich. Because people own 1 million parts, bits, and pieces of cryptos that were a fraction of a penny, like 1/10 of a penny.
Right.
And the shit climbed to a penny, a whole penny, and niggas got rich.
Mm.
You don't, again, it's going to be an embarrassing conversation when you got 19-year-olds hummer stunting on you. You feel me? Because they figured this shit out and you didn't. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're going to wait on the people who don't get it. Those people are going to be treated like how you see everybody else. They be getting treated unfairly now, and then they want to petition you to help them. Yo, where's the blacks at? The digital divide, that shift, is going to be brutal, bro. Because these young niggas already don't have respect for elders. They already don't got time for y'all. Mm-hmm. They already got a gripe. Right? What that shit gonna look like when the parents are dependent on the children to feed them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new language we gotta learn. It's like learning a new language. It's like learning how to walk again. You know, we're just at a very unique time where the paradigm is shifting, and we got to move with the times. It's a little uncomfortable, you know, because personally myself, when I looked at cryptocurrency at first, right, it made my skin crawl. I wasn't comfortable in looking into it. I didn't want to look at it. You know what I mean? It was something that I didn't want to invest my time in. But as time went on, I can see, you know, eventually that's going to be what we're going to be discussing. When it even comes to transactions, you won't be able to make a transaction if you don't know the language of cryptocurrency. So, you know, we're moving into more of an open system, you know, and again, it's more of a decentralized environment to where now we become the bankers, right? We become the money makers. We become the, you know, the enterprises, you know, within our own individual, you know, lives, you know. So it's about taking
Look,
responsibility of ourselves. That's it.
this is a in-home bank. This is a bank in my pocket, right? This is a Pundi X POS, a point of sale system. I can conduct business with all cryptocurrencies on this. I can send and receive. You know what I'm saying? It's a bank in my pocket. There's no centralized bank that has to be involved anymore. This bank is in my pocket, right? Things done changed.
Man,
And
Blue,
the
they don't.
Pundi X, the coin to this, is going crazy right now. Everybody's talking about the Pundi X, but nobody's talking about the point of sale system that powers the Pundi X. Once again, because it's a global phenomenon that the U.S. is not even caught on to. So this powers Dubai, it's popping in Africa, you know what I'm saying? And in the Eastern world, they haven't even got this on board here. This is a touch payerless system. This did not happen during COVID. This was before COVID. They've been on top of shit, right? They've been on top of things. We'd have been the ones late and left out because our focus and our attention is in other places that do not redeem, right? All of that particular you know, because remember, attention is the new currency. So all of that time and money that you spent on things that have not returned any return on your investment of time and money, we got to let go of those things. We got to say bye to that. You feel me? We have to.
Yo, Blue, you know they don't sell that in New York. The thing you just showed, the point system, point, whatever it's called, they don't sell that in New York, man. They won't ship it in New York. I'm sorry, it won't ship to New York.
All right, well, we could coordinate, and I think I got it shipped to me when I was in Atlanta. We could ship it here, and I could ship it to you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work something because you told me about it.
New York has a lot of blockages on it for a lot of things because it's the home of Central Land, right? Everything
Right.
centralized is centered in the financial capital. So they're bitter, right? They're sore losers.
Yeah.
Feel me? Yeah. And let me take this moment out because we got a minute to go until midnight. What did I tell you on January 1st, right? I'm like, look, these are the niggas who never celebrate the so-called New Year that they love telling other people about on January 1st. Where's you niggas celebrations at? Right? Where's the big you know, I want to see everybody saying Happy New Year and celebrating and making donations and offerings to mommy water and yummy jar and all of that. Where is it at? Why is it not happening? I told you this shit is dangerous, man.
Listen, I want to commemorate too everybody that partook in that God body challenge. You know, I assimilated in a way where, you know, the upper mobility of the sun was recognized. You know, we paid homage and commemorated the sun by way of you know, releasing ourselves from some of our addictions, which, you know, is eating. So we allowed ourselves to cleanse the body, you know, and partake in you know, a lot of shadow work, you know, a little bit of workout, right? You know, as we continue to move to the zenith of, you know, the sun reaching its pinnacle, you know, the new year. So I just want to commemorate everybody that took part in the God Body Challenge. You know, you guys are legends, and you know, we'll continue to keep this going. You know, it's just important for us to understand that we're living in a completely different world, you know, and it's time for us to now take responsibility of ourselves, not only from a spiritual standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. We can literally become millionaires overnight in this new world that we're living in.
Indeed, indeed. I think our people definitely More and more of us are realizing that, and I'm glad that a lot of us are paying attention and are interested in this type of information. Family, it's real important, especially if you have children. Family, it's extremely important. So, listen, I want to share this book. I want to show the picture one more time. We about to get out of here, family. I want to show y'all this one more time. This is it right here, family. Blue Pill and Alkebulan about to make history with convos with the cosmos. Right here, family. Convos with the cosmos.
Part one.
Part one.
Part one. Part one. Yeah. Yeah. Let's make that clear.
Indeed. Let me ask you this real quick, Alkebulan. Since you was talking about phosphorus and you was just making the connection between the cosmos and our biology, and Blue kept saying micro, macro. What, like, let's say, let me throw some authority figures in our government out, and say some names, and I want you to tell me what would that correspond to in the body. So if I say the police, you know what the job of the police is, to catch criminals, to fight crime. Who would be the police in our, but what would function as a police in our biology?
Shit, I mean, the most common one I would think would be the white blood cells.
The white blood cells.
Because yeah, I mean, if you want, just not to cut you off, but when we don't adhere to our health and we don't take responsibility of our body, the white blood cells start running rampant, right? So, even in the streets, ignorance of the law is no excuse, but we're not, truly understanding our proper personage. So we're up under a jurisdiction of a corporation, which gives them legal right to, treat us a certain way. But, that's a whole nother story. But
so that's the cops. Who's the criminals? Who's the criminals?
Yeah. It's I would
Bacteria.
say, bacteria.
Viruses,
I would say viruses.
germs, the things that are threatening your internal fortitude, that are causing dis-ease. Those things have to go, and you unleash your military on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, if you don't take responsibility of the biology, the viruses, they're going to transcribe certain scripts within the genetic code in order to write itself in a negative way. So it's going to create a situation in your body that's going to not only drop your immune system, but it's going to continue to produce those same viruses that are going to continue to, steal you of your life force. So, yeah.
It's funny. We have a problem with what we call white supremacy, or the people who we look at as being pale. And Dr. Africa always told us stay away from anything white. He always said stay away from white bread, white sugar. Anything white. He said stay away from that shit.
Yes, he did.
So maybe we need to follow that externally as well. I don't know, man. But
yeah.
It's definitely some interesting
juxtaposition.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting, man. I want listen. I want to thank y'all for coming on here. Definitely gonna get y'all on here again before the release of the book. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat who joined us tonight. Everybody who donated via super chat. Everybody who clicked on the link and is interested in getting the book. Appreciate all the love and support, family. Before we get out of here, let the people know, how to get in contact with you. Any last words on the book, and then we'll get out of here.
Alkebulan _44 on Instagram.
Yes, at Blue Pillar 44, right? And all of the links that the family is looking for are in my bio. Link in my bio, goldwater.com. We just put the gummies out, you know what I'm saying? Amazing reception to that. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole campaign going this strong in, not this weekend, but this strong in, celebrating, the rebirth, the springing forward, you know what I mean? So we got campaign. I don't want to call it a sale. You know what I'm saying? We got a campaign going on at goldwater.com. You get your spring power pack. Feel me? Biggest crypto play ever.com. We got a BWO membership drive going on. BWOpowerplay.com. Shout out to my partners with that. And we have the most amazing opportunity being offered to humanity right now to get involved with this ICO, which is an initial coin offering. And the coin is the token, which has been the book, Convos with the Cosmos, has been tokenized as an NFT. And you can get in as an early investor of this book with the pre-sale. All right. And that can be found at app.publica.com/Convos with the Cosmos. But again, I'm going to have all of those links available through my Instagram as well, and the link in the bio. And yeah, thank you for this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To build with the family, to build the audience, and you know, bring this unprecedented technological, you know, opportunity to the world.
Don't miss this opportunity, family. This is a first, you know, this is a you know, it's never been done, right? So this is an opportunity again for you to, you know, not only invest in your spiritual practices, but also into your financial gain, you know. So this is, you know, something that's, you know, very pivotal. So you know, it's important, and you know, it's just something that needs, you know, that needs no introduction, needs no explanation. So, you know.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I definitely want to congratulate y'all on this big move. I mean, this is a big move. This ain't no little dude move. This is a big dog move right here. So I'm inspired by this move right there. I'm definitely gonna get the book, go to the site. I'm gonna hop on the pre-sale. And yeah, family, it's a new world, family. It's a new world. So on that note, this is Brother Rich, Black Magic, UGR. Blue Pillar 44, Alkebulan 44. We signing out, family. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.